Well, hey everybody, this is Seth, keeping it real. I'm wearing a hat today because my hair is crazy, so I didn't feel like dealing with it. Hope everyone's doing very well today. As you guys know, this channel is all about one thing. It's about teaching people how to build passive income on Amazon. I think right now I practically live in this room and live in the other room, the studio. This is our new office. That's why we have a clock here that represents time, a tree here that represents life and planting a seed that grows and takes care of you later on in the future if you take care of it. These remind me, every time I'm in here in my office, they remind me of what matters, of what I'm fighting for. I have a picture of my family over here. We have desks that go up and down. I need an environment to really, really focus. And today, guys, I am so excited to be able to do this is the first time I've ever interviewed a couple who is strictly all about sourcing in China. In fact, I and my business partner will be flying to, and I'm going to hopefully pronounce it correctly, Peter and Angel, Yiwu. How did I do? Okay.
Very good.
Okay. Because I tried that word on many different Chinese drivers when I was in New York City, and most of them did not understand me. So I would say, ni hao, xie, ni hao, xie. And then they say, oh. The very few Mandarin words I know. But Peter and Angel, they live in China. They know suppliers in China. They've worked with hundreds of factories. They've been helping people who go to them to find a product, to find a supplier who can build a product, to get samples. And I'm so honored for them to be here today. So Peter and Angel, thank you so much for being here today and helping so many people here ready with so many questions for you guys. You have no idea how many questions are going to come out today. We can probably be here for 10 hours, but I promise I won't do that to you. But thank you for being here.
We are happy to be here and some useful information for everybody.
Tell me just a little bit about yourselves. How about where are you guys from and where did you guys first meet?
Well, let's start with Angel. Or let's start with me.
Which you is better.
Okay, I'm more complicated, so get that away first. Originally, I'm Hungarian. That is a little country, middle of Europe. So my native language is Hungarian, but I was born and raised in Slovakia. That is a neighbor country. I did my school in Czech Republic. I worked in Hungary after, and when I was 30 years old, in 1999, I went to US, and I lived in California, in Hollywood, and after a little bit in New York, and finally about 4 or 5 years in Sacramento area. And that was a time when I got into a situation or something, and basically I just decided that I always liked Asian woman, Chinese woman. So I decided I need to find a good lady, and I went online. I signed up for some website, and basically that's how we met first time.
No, we met in San Francisco.
Yes.
He came to pick me.
We started to talk online and get familiar with each other, and Angel decided to come to US for a magic show because she already had established a trading company here in China. And she decided to come to that magic show in Las Vegas. So we set that up, and I went to San Francisco. I picked her up on the airport, and from there we got know to each other in a personal way, and that's how the whole thing started.
And after he started to learn the business on the first trip, he followed me to the Las Vegas also.
And now you guys live where? Where do you guys live?
Now, Angel is originally from Xiamen. That is the mainland part of Taiwan. So when you see the Taiwan, the island, and you go straight to the mainland, the first closest part would be Xiamen. That is, I think, under like 4 million people live there, and that is one of the wonderful places for traveling. But Angel started to do this kind of business in 1999. Or she says 98, but she was counting by the Chinese calendar, what is different.
Gotcha.
So, but
Yep.
in our calendar is 1999 and January 5.
Yeah. First, it's I start to work from this kind because since beginning until now, I always in this business. It's not the other one like when I had a job. So I start in 1997, and after in Chinese that will be like 1996, but I graduated is 1997. So we have studied, and I since beginning till now. And after I was in the company, we have that is big company like a chain store retail also. So always the same this kind like sourcing everything and export. In China we have that company is about the 300 shop at the store, the retail. So all the fashion style, different kind, also imported from Italy or Korea and France, this kind. And after we have all its export. Like in China, I think it started 1992 for the open to have like a foreign country come in or go for the business. And in 1997 in China, in Asia, the economy not good, like in US a few years ago. So on that time, our company is changed all to the export. So, and I started in the 1995 to management for the export scenes. And so I was from beginning little the sales girl, and after I was in the financial and manager and the vice manager, and after is the general manager in the company or I management.
So from the bottom up.
Yeah, so we have also manufacture by our company itself.
Gotcha.
And
Gotcha.
yeah, so I know all the detail. And we have the corporation, factory, the supplier, all everywhere in China, different province. So also from the customer, they would like to sourcing, like a similar now, when the customer, they would like to know something they pass to us or they, so people ask us what we are doing. We have many because if customer, they want the example, let's to say, they want to have the jewelry, okay, we're sourcing for the jewelry for them. And they would like to have the hotel products, we can do. So all everything, if customer they would like to have, we are here, we can check anytime, market or online. So that's all what I did till now for this long time. That's to say 1997 till now, 20 years.
And basically, I think in 2007,
Yeah.
Angel started her own company what we are doing now.
Yeah, so when I was in my ex-company, I was also, you know, before I was working there and after I was part of the business, they give me, okay, you are the partner in the company.
Right. Very
Yeah.
cool.
So yeah.
This is really neat. So you've been living this. You're with the suppliers, you work for the manufacturer, you understand this, you're your own company.
Yeah.
And this is one of the main reasons I wanted to talk to you. Not only I think it's really cool whenever I can find a couple who works together, because that's hard to do in a marriage. I respect that. You guys have found a way to make that work, and I really respect that. And you guys are doing this in China. So now for me, let me talk about what it's like for me here in US soil. And I know a lot of the people here can relate to this. I struggle. We all struggle. Okay, how do I know who I can trust? You know, who in China, you know, what if the way they do business is different than the way I think I do business? How do I know that the sample that they send me, maybe that's high quality, but the product they send me is not high quality? Like all those concerns, I believe the #1 fear people have in other countries in sourcing is how do I find a supplier who I can trust? And so I want to thank you guys so much for being here today, and cannot wait to get your answers to probably over 100 questions. I know we won't get to all of them, but this is super valuable, not only to me, but to everyone here, and especially to the Just One Dime community. And I want to say thank you everyone who's here right now. There's a ton of people in the room. Great to see you guys. Thank you very much. Okay, cool. So we're just going to jump right in. What I'm going to do, everyone, questions right now. I'm going to go through a list of some of the biggest questions I hear the most often. So listen closely, because I believe what's going to happen is a lot of the questions you guys already have are going to be answered. Of those, then if I feel like we have enough time, I'm going to jump to the chat, and I'm just going to read the questions in the chat, Peter and Angel, and I'll just ask them as they come up. Because right now we have people, they can chat in their questions on the YouTube link. Okay, so we'll begin with this question. How do you find a supplier? What would you say to an Amazon seller on how to find a supplier they can trust?
Well, the search, basically, I will be explaining everything from our viewpoint, how we are doing it. Okay, so we have two approaches. One, that we are going to Alibaba, DHgate, or Made in China, this kind of websites. So basically, we are looking for Ozone online to find suitable suppliers. Or we have a second chance, like this is the same thing what anyone can do who has an internet connection. The other thing, what we are doing, and this is more on a personal level, that is a reason why we are in EU. So basically, here is the world's biggest commodity market, international commodity market.
And I'm just going to jump in. I'm going to jump in real quick. So Yiwu, which is a little further north than Guangzhou and Shenzhen, correct? You're talking about that region of Yiwu, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
The Yiwu is in
Shanghai.
not far from Shanghai. I think is about 1 hour 40 minutes by train. That is a speed train that goes up to, I don't know, I know in kilometers, like 300 kilometers per hour. That is about 190 miles per hour.
Okay.
So with that train, about 1 hour 40 minutes, 1.5 hours. So it's closer to Shanghai. And the Guangzhou, there is a Canton Fair, etc. That is down south. So here in EU, I checked last time, and they were counting like over 100,000 suppliers or factory company representation here. So basically, companies who are also in Canton Fair or anywhere else on Alibaba, they also have, I don't know, 70–80% representation here in EU. So what we are doing, and that is the second thing, we go straight to the market. I mean, that's the place, and that is huge, huge.
Like these big rooms, right? Big rooms, and there's all these toys or kitchenware up the wall. I've been watching videos on it, right? You're talking about these huge, huge rooms with all the merchandise?
Well, yeah. I will say this way, that is a huge building. I don't know how many story buildings, like 4 or 5 story buildings, and that goes like miles. And inside are like streets, and these little like boutique style shops, representations, and each one is full of product what that company is doing.
Now I have a question, and if you don't mind, I'm going to jump in just to make sure everyone understands. So here's my question, Peter and Angel. If I buy from Yiwu, doesn't that mean it'd be more expensive? Because doesn't Yiwu add on some packaging or branding? It's more complete, ready for retail, whereas more factories are in Guangzhou, Shenzhen, other places, or is that not necessarily the case?
EU is the most cheaper.
EU is, from our experience, based on what we are searching and looking, because we are checking everywhere in China also. So EU is generally the most cheapest.
Example, for example,
I can do. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So, for example, we say the one same products. Today is in EU and in Guangzhou, Guangdong or Guangzhou, doesn't matter. So if they are selling the same item, but in EU they are selling cheaper, because they need to follow here the market, the customer, they are from everywhere to here. And in Guangdong, they are more higher, because they say in Guangdong it's a better quality or they are higher price, but the most there, they are more expensive here. Even the factory from there, but they are selling here for cheaper, but the same products.
Got it.
They
Okay.
are not going up. Yeah.
Just to make sure I understand now. So in Yiwu, generally the price is cheaper. Now I've been
Yes.
told you can get a smaller minimum order quantity in Yiwu, because that's a big struggle people have. Like, you know, I just have enough money. I have $2,000. I'm about to sell these pens, and you know the minimum order quantity is 10,000. But man, I just want 500. Can you get a lower MOQ, minimum order quantity, in Yiwu? Is that true, or does that depend on different factors?
Yes, I think in EU is the market to find the lowest MOQs. So
Okay.
if someone goes to the Canton Fair, that would be the MOQ would be much higher than here. Here, someone can buy just a few dozen products, or
Right.
just 1 to 100, or.
Okay, so I'm going to be in Yiwu, and let me grab my camera here. So if I go through Yiwu and I'm looking at products and I'm taking pictures, am I gonna get in trouble if I get arrested? Am I not supposed to do that?
No, it depends. So basically, in general, the suppliers in the market, they have no problem with it. You just go there and take pictures because why? They know that there is a lot of competition too. Like a lot of factories are doing similar products, like lot. And basically, if they know if they don't allow me to take a picture, I just go to the other one, take a picture there, and order from there. So
Gotcha.
about 80–90% is no problem.
We just ask, and if
Yes.
they agree, it's okay.
We are polite, so we ask, and they normally say that sure, go ahead.
Okay, so I can ask permission to take pictures. Okay, no, this is very helpful. So let me go back to the question, and thank you for giving us context to understand Yiwu, Guangzhou, and all these other places. So how do I find a supplier? Like if I'm in the US or I'm in the United Kingdom and I can't afford to fly to China, I don't have that much money, I'm just starting out my new business. Do I do it on Alibaba? Do I do it on 1688 and use the Google Chrome translator so I can read it? Because I know there's some Chinese suppliers. What do you guys recommend I do to find a supplier I can trust?
Well, that is one way to go. And if somebody is right, for example, in the US and has no other connection, no other possibility, probably that's the way to do it. But all the foreign customers or business people who are coming here for sourcing, they know one thing, and they are talking between each other, and they say something that get an agent. So that is kind of like a rule, is a accepted thing here, because that's the easiest way, and that would be the most safe and cheapest way to do.
Okay, and when you say agent, are you saying trading company?
Can be trading company or agent, or it depends. And that is the first step. The second step is the question who we can trust.
Right, and that's what I was going to say, because here's one thing I don't like about Alibaba, and here's where people get confused, and I'm going to share this with everyone. Guys, Alibaba is not a supplier. It's a phone book. That's all it is. It's a directory with a whole bunch of different suppliers on it. That's all it is. It is a phone book. So remember that, everyone. Alibaba is not a sourcing company. It is a phone book where you can find suppliers, manufacturers, and so forth. Now, what I have found in my experience is a lot of people on Alibaba or companies pretending to be the factory, but they're not the factory. They are a trading company, or they're an agent. And I'm okay if they're a trading company or agent. I see value there. What I don't like is when they pretend to be something that they're not. So how do you figure out who to trust? Because a lot of them say, oh yeah, you can get this for this cheap. And I paid someone, Peter and Angel, and I have a video on this. I paid someone to go to China. It was a toy we wanted to source. We wanted to figure out, it was like a party toy. And I had a suspicion that something seemed off. So I paid them about $175. Someone actually in Russia, it sounds like mafia or something, but it's not. Someone from Russia went to China, and he communicated and had a translator and said, show me the factory. And we were on video live. So I'm sitting here in my office, this is like 6 months ago, and I'm watching. And they kept saying, they said that the machine is broken, the machine is broken. He says, well, if you guys make this product, there should be a whole bunch of inventory left over on the floor. Oh, we don't have any. We'll bring back the machine, come back next week. And the guy goes, you can't pay me another $175 to come back again. I just need to know if you're really the factory. And they would never say we're not a factory. It turned out, I think, they were a trading company where they were getting it from someone else, but they're not going to say who they're getting it from because they're marking up the price, making money off of it, then shipping it to me. So do you understand the fear and the frustration? What do you think of that, and how do we handle that as Amazon sellers?
Well, it's not necessarily a minus if that is not a factory itself, but a trading company. The trading company can also make a good job, and they can also give a good price, because they can be a personal connection. The trading company is a personal connection with the factory itself. So basically they figure out the whole thing. So if someone will buy from a different factory, we'll get a similar price, because it must be still competitive.
I got you.
But if somebody really wants to get a factory, what we do, we never use emails in the beginning. We always do phone calls or personal contact. And yes, and basically,
or WhatsApp, maybe. Do you guys use WhatsApp or
WeChat. China is WeChat.
I'm sorry, WeChat. Yeah, WhatsApp and WeChat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in a beginning, it's not even needed. We just a phone call first to make sure that the first step is okay, the first signs. And we have a set of, Angel knows perfectly, she has a set of questions she's asking the factory. Okay, so where are you? How many employees you have? Where are you located? What certificates you have? Can you send me your factory certificates? And we would like to visit you. When can we come to visit you? And during those questions, if you get a feeling, if the factory or a person on the other side immediately answering no problem, etc. So the first sign is that yes, it's a factory. They have nothing to hide. If someone is like holding back or hiding something, you get a feeling of it immediately.
Yeah, which is the sense I got with that one apparent factory. So no, this is very helpful. So Angel, you ask them questions first, and then if you still feel good, then you go and visit the factory.
Yeah.
Yes. And then we come to the point that, okay, we are ready to go to visit because we are here. They know that we can. And if it is a trading company, in that point, they just admit. They just tell us that, oh, they are a trading company. So we know.
Or they will say, sometimes they don't say they are not a factory. They just say, oh, okay, you are going to looking for someone else. But we say, we want to order from you. Or maybe sometimes we say, doesn't matter if you are a factory or you are not factory, just tell me true. And they don't. And after, okay, few times not, we contact, we're looking for other one. And this is also for one of the example, like sometimes the customer, they looking for from the Alibaba or Made in China, they send us, but not meaning they want to have this one. First, they send to me and we check. After check, if it's all okay, we can continue with this one. And also we're searching for more different, the similar, for the similar products, factory or supplier. And so this is also one of the reasons why they need us here, and they are not afraid of the money and if the factory is cheating or if products problem.
That is one of the reasons we are, or an agent or a company who are handling that for a client is important.
Yeah. Now here's another, and guys, just so you know, I'm playing devil's advocate here on both sides of the conversation. Just so you know, I'm not messing with you. I'm asking questions. These questions are going to come up. A lot of people are going to ask this question. They're going to say, why would I go with a trading company or an agent? Because that means you're going to charge me more, and that's taking out of my profit. I want to buy it directly from the factory to get the price as low as I can. What would your response be to that? How would you handle that kind of objection?
So I will say this. If you are lucky and you know that you get the good product without any problem, do that.
Yeah.
But if there is any chance, if you want to have a nice night's sleep, and you don't need to think about that, I ordered something, the sample was good, do I get the same quality product, or that would be a problem, or that would be broken things, or you know, if someone don't want to be scared about these ideas, need someone here to check and make sure.
Right. Okay. This is very helpful. Now I'm going to ask a technical question. Okay. Will copies of MSDS and any other necessary certifications be available? So for example, some toys need inspections. You guys may have heard fidget spinners. They did a big recall on Amazon, and now you have to apply to make sure they're not toxic. Otherwise you can't sell them because some kid puts it in the mouth and the toxics get in their body and they can get sick and die. So what about that kind of stuff? Because that's another question is, if I'm getting a product from China, but then I want to sell it on Amazon in United Kingdom, or maybe in Mexico or Australia or United States, Amazon sometimes requires certain certifications. Will Amazon accept a Chinese certification, or do I need to do that in the US? What is your guys' experience with that, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, no more that is from the factory. And some big factory, they make the certification by shelf, but sometimes depend on the country, the customer. Example, we have some other item also from different example from US or from Russia. The customer, if they are more higher quality, this kind, they would like to have all the certificates, so not make problem. So they will ask us to make from here, to use from the SGS or ITS. These are the international. So it's accept in the different country, international way. So we can also to help, just only the cost, you know, we will check if the customer they would like to have, if the factory they don't make, or if they make, they will ask additional the charge.
Got it. Additional charge is going to cost more. That's understandable, obviously. Yes, absolutely. And so some factories can do this, but some factories cannot, right?
Yeah.
Or some factories already have it.
Yeah.
And if they don't have it,
okay.
yes, we have factories like they are making.
Like a tattoo.
We have a factory for a tattoo. You know, you can have it for a few days and you wash it off, and very high quality. And the lady has all the certificates ready.
Yeah.
For example, all the certificates she has ready. So if a customer is asking, she is just providing it. No cost, no problem. Or we have another factory they don't have, but we are handling all these certifications. Basically, we send it for test, they testing it, they give us a certification, and we provide to the client.
Gotcha. Okay, that's amazing. And just to make sure, these factories can produce certification that is accepted in other countries like United States or United Kingdom or the United.
Yes, because not the factory itself is doing it. That is a third-party company that is international and that is accepted.
Got it. So this third-party company has a relationship with the factory, and so we can ask the factory, hey, will you do this? And they contact the third party and they have the certification. Am I understanding that correctly?
Yes, that is like a service, a company that has this service, and basically everybody is using them because they have these international certifications. And they have the laboratories, they do the testing, and that is accepted internationally.
Yeah, from each country they have a different request, a different rule.
Yeah, every country requires different things. So based on what they require, they do the testing based on that, and they give a certification.
Okay. Now I want to share something to our viewers right now. If you're new to Amazon, and by the way, guys, I'm going to say this right up front. Peter and Angel are not here because they have a service to sell to you. That's not why they're here. I didn't ask them to do that. They're providing a service to just One Dime members only, which I'm very excited about. So just so you guys know ahead of time, I'm not going to boast about them to get you to believe them. So I'm not offering anything at all other than, buy our coaching bundle. And in just One Dime, they provide a service. I just want to, that's a qualification for what I'm about to say. When you start on Amazon, if you're new to Amazon, you don't understand how many hoops you're going to have to jump through to succeed, and it's going to be hard. It is going to be hard, and I'll tell you why. If you sell anything, they just talked about the temporary tattoos that peel off and then later they wash off. Anything you put on your face, anything you put in your mouth, anything a little kid might play with or put in their mouth, anything that's edible. There are magnets now. There are going to be certifications you have to get. And this happens about 10 times a day. I hear it. Ready? Here it goes. Someone finds a product. They're super excited about it. They know it's great potential. They source it from a factory. They don't know at all. They have no idea they need certification. They send it into Amazon. And guess what happens? Amazon says, hey, we need you to fill out this hazmat review. Oh, wait a minute. Hazardous materials? I didn't know I had to do that. Yeah, because you have batteries in it. That could have been taken care of a long time ago if you had the right contact in China. So in other words, there's Chinese suppliers, and Angel and Peter, tell me if I'm getting off track here, okay? But there are some Chinese suppliers out there who they will sell you the product, but if you don't ask for certification, they're not going to worry about it. That's your business. That's your job. That's not their job to make sure you have that. That's your job to know that for the country you're selling in. So again, if you're a new Amazon seller and you're thinking, wait a minute, I'm not going to use a third-party service, I'm going to save money. Guess what? You will lose time, and you do not get a refund on that. You can't lose 2 weeks. I've seen people take 6 weeks to get a product approved in Amazon because they didn't have the right certification. You will never get those 6 weeks back. Those 6 weeks of sales you could have had, I guarantee you, would be a lot more money than what you spent an agent or a trading company or anyone who knows what they're doing to take care of that for you ahead of time. So again, please learn from someone who's been through this 1,000 times, for better and worse. You need to know your stuff before you do it, and you need to get the right people. Just telling you guys right now, know it ahead of time. It's worth it. Now, I'm very proud to say Peter and Angel are part of Just One Dime. You know how privileged I am? That's one of the reasons I'm flying to China in October, is to meet them in person. That's how seriously I take these kind of relationships. I want to meet them. It builds trust both ways. And I want to learn all about Yiwu, and I want to learn how to pronounce it correctly. So by the time I come back, I'm going to walk into the house, and I'm going to be talking to my wife in fluent Mandarin. She's going to go, what happened? And I'm going to teach her Mandarin. No, but seriously, please listen to what I'm saying. I'm trying to save you from pain. I'm not trying to sell you something, okay? There's nothing for you to buy today, nothing. I'm telling you, you need to know ahead of time. If you're trying to cut corners, you're probably a little bit green and not really wise. You don't cut corners, because guess what? You cut corners today, it's going to kick you in the ass later. Sorry for my language, but it will. It's going to kick you in the butt. So if you're new to Amazon, you need to listen to people who've been doing it for a while. Listen to them. They know what they're talking about. A lot of newbies in here are like, yeah. Slow down, young grasshopper. You're going to get yourself in trouble. You want to make money? We'll show you how, but you have to do it legitimately. Otherwise, what you reap is what you sow is what you will reap. You plant bad seeds, you're going to grow bad fruit. And in the end, you will not be happy with rotten apples. You need to plant good seeds. And that's just not talking about your business, it's not about your whole life. Your whole business is an outflow of who you are on the inside. It's so important. This isn't some kind of, cutthroat, sneaky, do this and I'm going to win. People like that don't win. It's the people with integrity that win in the long run, who think ahead, who plan, who understand how to delay gratification. That is how you run a business. That's how you do it legitimately. That's why I'm talking to Peter and Angel. Almost every day, I get a supplier from China emailing me saying, would you please introduce me to your group? We want to sell services. And I say no, or I just ignore it, or I just drop it into the trash. Why? Because I'll only work with people I trust and only have so much time. There it is. Okay, that's all. Done. I just wanted to share that because some people don't understand this, Peter and Angel, and it's so important that they do. Thank you so much again, guys, for answering these questions. I'm going to start firing out questions a little faster. Okay, we talked about finding a supplier. You can do it in Alibaba, you can do it at DHgate, but if you find an agent, it builds trust that can help. Okay, here's my next question. What payment methods do you guys recommend when paying a supplier for my first batch of inventory? How do I pay the supplier? What do you recommend? What is safe?
Okay. So I tell you what I know, and Angel is right back in a moment. So of course, we are looking how to pay safe way, right? So the best, if no other possibility, is the best is probably to use a third-party company. So basically, someone in US ordering a product from a factory, they pay to a third-party company, and there the money is held. So the factory is not getting it, and the factory is producing, and also the factory knows that, oh, the money was paid, and it's just waiting. So the third-party company need to be someone that the customer trusts and the factory trusts. And after when the factory delivers and everything is fine, the third-party company gets the go, and after it transfers the money to the factory. Okay. So that's the most safe way.
And just real quick, Peter, just to make sure, the third-party company we're talking about is either the trading company or the agent who's putting me in contact with the factory I can trust. Is that right?
That would be my second answer.
Okay.
The first answer was like a financial institution, I mean, company.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
They are online, etc. So they are a third party, somebody who can handle this. And
Got
then
it.
my second part is, in our case, we as a trading company or agent, or how you want us to call, we are that third party company for our customers. So basically, if our client from, I don't know, Israel or France, from US or something, is ordering something, they never pay the factory straight, never.
Gotcha.
They pay here us, and we are holding the money. And
Right.
after we check everything that is fine, and after we transfer the money. So that is a general idea. And of course, there are between steps too. I don't know if you will ask later or not that, okay, how we make sure that the quality is okay, and then the money we can transfer. So,
Right.
but that is a general idea.
Okay, that's helpful. So escrow, basically, third-party holding company escrow. I know Alibaba offers trade assurance, which I love trade assurance in Alibaba. I've used it; it's been very effective. Someone in the chat mentioned PayPal, which is another way you can get your money back if you open a case. Okay, very good. So basically, third-party company holding the money. Now go to your second example you were going to give me that I think I started going ahead of you there.
Actually, my second example was that we are, as an agent or trading company, we are replacing that third-party company. So basically, if someone, I say a simple way, someone is hiring us to be an agent for them, automatically we are representing for that person, that client, that company, someone in US, someone in Russia or UK. So we are his representation here. So basically, like we are as an extended hand. So we hold everything what the client has, and we don't give anything to the factory unless we go through the process of ordering, production, checking, shipping, etc. When we do that, after everything is fine, we forwarding the money.
Okay.
So, but money is held here.
How familiar are you guys? How often do you work with Alibaba? Do you ever go on there for any reason, or is that not relevant because you're working directly with the person who wants to build the product, and then the person who wants to buy the product, and the factory that wants to build it? Do you guys ever interact with Alibaba at all?
Sure, sure. Also, like, I don't say that on a regular basis, but very often. Depends on a product. Like basically, our clients, like someone will come soon doing jewelry business. So he is coming, and for that we don't go to Alibaba because we know hundreds of suppliers. They are doing good quality jewelry. We go to the market. We don't need Alibaba. We go to straight to the factory or straight to the market, the shops, the agency representation, and we check right there. We check the quality, we check the products, lot of assortment, different type of jewelry, basically a lot. So we can handle everything by here locally. But in some cases that a company or a client is coming and or calling us or get on a video call or something and is looking for something that we never did or something totally off. I don't know, someone last time was looking for a blankets for an airplane. Had the idea to do, I don't know what kind of blankets, or I know, but the other one was looking for, he had like a motel chain, motel, and he was looking for a kind of little portable desktop freezers.
A desktop freezer for his motel chain. Wow. Okay, that is very unique. That's very niche.
Example, and of course it must be a certain thing that it must be minus 18 degrees Celsius. So basically the yogurt, or not even a yogurt, but like an ice cream they can put there that stays frozen. So that we don't go to the market here. First we check on Alibaba, and we also find we get in communication through Alibaba, or they say that, oh, they have a representation here in EU. In that case, we go to the market to meet them here.
Gotcha.
So in those cases, we are using Alibaba.
Okay, that makes total sense. So thank you. This is super helpful. Here's another question for you guys. What about this problem. So let's say I come up with a whole new iPhone case for my iPhone, and it has this really cool stand thing. And no one else is doing it. I see the idea of iPhone being able to sit like that is powerful. I know that idea is strong, but I want to do it in a new way. I want to differentiate. No one else is doing this. I want to be first to market. So I get someone, a supplier, to build this case with this little thing here. Now here's the part that people dread. Here it goes. And this has happened. I get them to build it. I might even pay for a mold. They ship it to me. I'm very happy. I start selling on Amazon. And maybe 3-4 months later, I notice someone else is selling the exact same thing on their listing. And so I go to Alibaba, and on Alibaba, that supplier is advertising the exact mold I sent them, that I designed, that I had them build. What do you do about that? Is there any way to prevent that? Basically, a supplier takes your idea and they start selling it to other sellers. And that's, you know, here, at least in the US, it's like, oh wait, but we had this deal. Do you sign a contract? Can you enforce the contract? I mean, they're in another country. What are your guys' thoughts on that? And have you run into that before?
So in China, it's a different way how people think about business and make money, etc. So if in the US, you sign a contract, that contract is enforceable. You can go to the court or something. Here in China is a little bit more free, more loose. So the only way, of course, when we have something like this kind of situation, when we do an agreement with the factory, we also sign a contract or include in that agreement. But that is the first part. That doesn't guarantee it. And now the second part, what is more strong here in China, when we get in communication with the factories, we immediately starting to develop a personal relationship. So basically, if we are personally connected, like, but that mostly includes also we meet in person in a market or somewhere, or we somehow set up a time, we visit them, we go for a dinner, or I don't know, it depends. But basically, if we have a personal relationship, we can trust, we have a much higher probability that they will not betray a friend than an unknown person somewhere on the other side of the world who they never met. Gotcha.
This is awesome. And I think this, and everyone, I hope you guys heard what he just said. And I believe Lochnivar, that's a cool name, Lochnivar, said something very similar. It's very difficult to enforce an agreement with the factory, asking them to never build that mold, or they've already have the mold, so now it's easy because you spent the money paying for them for the mold, right? To ask them not to sell that to anyone else. And that's how they think in a different country. It's kind of like if I go to Spain, people think different. What might be offensive to me wouldn't be to them, and vice versa. You see what I mean? If I go to Ukraine, same thing. I spent some time in Ukraine. I spent some time in Kazakhstan. I spent some time in Mexico. Like going to there, even in New York City, how people think and talk there is different. If New York City, if you walk up to someone and say, hi, how are you? They're like, you know, who are you talking to? But you do that here in Texas, like, hey, how's it going? It's like, hi, I don't know you, but how you doing? So people think differently. So first of all, especially for those of you guys who've not been in other countries, open your mind, understand people are gonna act differently in different cultures. So try to appreciate that, okay? Doesn't mean you have to agree with it, but at least appreciate it. Okay, second, hear what he said, guys. Building a relationship with the supplier. Just today, I met with one of my business partners. We're launching a new product. We're really excited about it, trademarking all that, possibly patent pending on it. And he said, Seth, I really, really love this supplier. Like this, they have been so good to me. They've done everything I've asked. I really think we should go with the supplier. We were really thinking, like checking for, I said, you know what? Let's do it. There's a relationship there. I would rather work with, even if the price is a little bit higher, in the long run, I'm gonna be happier. They're happier, less likely they will share my idea. And again, I know this is not a guarantee, guys. Obviously, it's not. Anyone could screw you over if they wanted to, if they tried, right? But listen to what he said, friendship. And tell me, is this right? Is this correct, Angel? A lot of times when I contact suppliers the first time, they will say dear and friend. And to me as an American, it feels a little weird at first. It's like, why are you calling me dear? And they'll say friend, but I don't know them. Is that because they value friendship a lot? Like, what's the reason for that?
I can say my experience. Maybe Angel has a different one. Here, a lot of people basically they learn English, and they have a certain set of words they are using. So basically, they don't know how to how people are sending emails in the US or the other places, but how they learn English, that is how they learn. When we send an email, is a general being polite. You say that there something. In Europe also they can use there something. I know even in my language, in Hungarian, we also in a traditional way we used the similar way to start an email or a letter.
Like an opening salutations or greeting, dear, like a letter. But see, sometimes they'll just say, hello, dear. And it makes me laugh because like that's a term you use in the US if you're really close to someone. Hello, dear. Or maybe my mom would say that. So anyways, what do you think, Angel? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this.
What do you think that why they use there something?
Yeah, this is most from polite. So example for me, if I don't know someone, the beginning, I need to write in dear, like a dear says or dear Peter. But if when we are after more business, more talking or writing emails, so I always write hi Seth or hi Peter or hi someone like that.
Gotcha.
So that's what I mean, that in the beginning, that is how they learn.
Polite.
To be polite in the beginning, so this is what they need to write, there something.
Yeah.
Right. This is going to be a little bit of a rabbit trail, but I just want to mention it briefly. About 20, 30 years back, I forget how long back, China is known for their pandas, right? The pandas, the panda bear. We didn't have any in the US. So we began to talk to them about, hey, we had a zoo in, if anyone here is from California, help me on the details here. I'm probably getting some wrong, but there's a zoo in Southern California, I believe it's in San Diego, and we thought we could, the zoo is struggling, where they keep animals, and their budget, they were over budget, they were in debt, and they couldn't get enough people to visit the zoo. I talked to China, and we were hoping to get a panda, one of the pandas out here in America for maybe a year. And what the Americans learned with the Chinese, and help me here, Angel, if this is correct or not, that what was really meaningful to the Chinese was friendship. And the Americans didn't think that way. They're like, if we become friends, there's trust. And so the word friend is a very powerful word to someone in China. Is that your experience, Angel, or am I a little off case here? I can't hear you. I think you're muted.
Yes. Okay. I can answer this too, and I answer that with an example. What is known by the business people, customers who are coming here to China for sourcing. And now is a little bit new, is changing, but this was the original idea. If someone was wanted to order production from a factory, this is what a Chinese supplier told him. Tonight we go for party, KTV or something, bar, drink.
Right.
And they said that someone was answering that, oh, actually I'm not a party person. If no party, no business.
Wow, good to know.
So
I'm going to party.
So basically, the Chinese value this personal connection, relationship, so they go together with the customer to sit down for the dinner, for singing, for drinking or something. And if no personal relation this way, no business. So that is how important is this personal relationship here.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
That was before.
No, wait. This was start from Japan, and after Taiwan is learning from Japan, and after China is learning from Taiwan. This is how it is come.
So started with Japan, after went to Taiwan, and from Taiwan it came here because a lot of Taiwanese people are coming here to do the business. So here they learn that.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense.
Party business, no party, no business.
For example,
okay. So you guys heard the message. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry. No, for example, one time we have a Danish customer, but originally
from Denmark.
And also they have the factory for the wood. They are imported, but also they export. And they want to try to have a business with China. There's one, they say a company in in Shenzhen, in Guangdong, in Shenzhen. They would like to buy from them. So they invite them to come for a meeting. And after, so because they are partner from the Denmark, and one of the partners say, okay, so I contact Angel after she helped you. I was already making a relation with one of my friends in Shenzhen. So I said, if this customer would like to help, can you help? He said, no problem. And afterward, they go, and the first moment, he was unlucky. The luggage is going to the Japan everywhere, and after come back. This is the first moment. Second, only the dinner at the same time. The Chinese people, but they are not the company for sure. They are the, how to say, like the cheating, this kind.
Oh, so kind of like a fake company.
Gotcha.
Something. Claiming something. And after they say, okay, we are your big customer in China, where you need to invite us for a good dinner. And after, you know what, they go because he don't need me. He don't need my help. He say no problem, he can handle. And after going for the dinner with 8 people or some how many people, and after, and they need to pay. So from lost guy ask, okay, give me the credit card. He say, okay, you know, from Danish guy give the credit card, and they go. And after one night, 60,000, like $10,000 dollars for one dinner. And after my other, his partner, he said, if you would like to have a big dinner next time, you invite Angel. You know why you going there for? And after people cheating him because he don't need my help. I don't need to go. I have a friend there, so I say, okay, if he need for talking or what, if that way he don't lose this big money.
Yeah.
So that's why if the factory is inviting the customer, or they go together, we are also there to make sure that something accidentally can happen.
Oh my goodness, that's crazy. All right, guys, I'm gonna ask you a question. Heard of
Yes.
internet expenses. Okay, here's another question. Can you know if a supplier is overcharging for the shipping? Because there's, especially if it's FOB or free on board by ship, there's so many different fees in there, the customs, the tariff, there's so much. How do you know if they're giving you a fair shipping price, and how often do suppliers try to bring the number a little bit higher so they get a little extra money, more than the actual shipping should cost?
It can be happen because like a few years ago, I know one of the courier company, and
the courier company.
Yeah, and they are customer from US also, and so one day I asked how much to pay for one container, and they say for how much that, and I said, wow, why you need that expensive? Because for me, I have my agent is cheaper than you. Do you need help? But we are always honest for any our customer. They don't be worried. This is for sure. One of my customers say, when he introduced us to the other company, the other customer, they say, you know how much value for Angel? There is no value how much million, because you can trust, and you never find anyone better than her. But of course, there's someone also good. And so when I asked that guy, and he say, oh, of course, we need to make some money. Otherwise, how we can make the profits from the products?
Oh, man. So he was basically, just to make sure, just real quick, I just make sure I understand. So they were overcharging the shipping.
Yeah. They are doing that.
And you were asking them, why is it costing so much? Okay, so this does happen. Okay.
Yeah, so basically they give a cheap product or cheaper product, good price, but they compensate with the shipping.
Gotcha. Okay.
For us, for sure, we are going to check from which one is most cheaper. At least three agency or 3-4 the shipping company. We check, we compare, and we give exactly what is the price from the agency, or even I take a picture. This is how much we find the best, or you can check by yourself. You don't need to use mine, but I can give you idea. And most if it's paying from China, like from the shipper, this is more cheaper than when you are asking the agency to how to say, like when you're paying from there, the agency, they are more because they need to add price to the like the example your agent, but they need to have the price, the profits from the shipping.
So
Okay,
basically,
I make sure I don't understand. So could you re-explain that one more time? I'm sorry, I lost you.
yes, no problem. So basically, it always turned out this way. If the customer wants to handle the shipping, like for example from Israel, he is handling the shipping through his agent.
His own freight
shipping
forwarder,
company.
not the supplier. So I could go to
Yes.
Freightos. You mentioned Freightos. I actually talked to them today. I could go to FedEx or UPS or DHL because they're international. Okay, I'm with you.
Yeah, so basically, if the customer tried to handle the shipping himself, it always turned out more expensive when we were handling the shipping from with our agents here in China.
Okay, but what about this situation? What if I'm not using an agent and I'm not handling the shipping with a forwarder company? I'm just asking the supplier, and the supplier says, "Oh, it'll cost you this much for this many kilograms, and we can do deliver duty paid, 5 days because it's already produced, whatever." And they take care of all of that for me. Can
Yes.
I get cheated in that situation? And how do I know if I'm being cheated?
Yes, you can be cheated, and the only way, basically, to have a contact for few shipping companies and get prices, quotations. And after, when you have like 3, 4, 5 different quotations, you can see that is cheating or not.
Got you. Okay. So you just get more quotations. Got you. Okay. And you said something that's very interesting, Angel. You said sometimes they charge lower on the price of the product, but they make up for it in the shipping. Do they do that in order to get you in? Like, oh, the price is low, but then they make up for it with higher shipping?
Well, if you think about it, that China is a country of business people who knows how to make money. Very good. And
Yes.
whatever different way, fast way. So basically, that is how they think, and is natural for them, how they can make more money.
Yeah.
So they try to do that.
Okay.
We have a little bit different situation as a company here with Angel, that basically we have a shipping company who are handling almost all our shippings, or they are helping us to find the best prices because they work with them for years, a lot of years. And they know we always give them a good business. So they know that they try to find the best for us, because this is a way how they are sure that
Yes.
we will continue to work with them. So for
Yes,
example,
yeah.
yes.
And that brings up another question. When I approach a supplier, I've heard two very common responses, and I've tried both. One approach is, hey, we're a new company. We could really use your help. We're trying this out. Can you give us your best price? Okay. That approach is like, hey, we're little, we're small, help us. Sort of a mercy plea. The other one is this approach. Hey, I'm an agent for a multi-million-dollar company. I can't make any pricing decisions. I'm the agent, right? And I represent my boss. And I want to know, he wants to know, what's the best price you can give me for this medicinal face cream, for example. Do you recommend one approach over the other, or maybe a different approach, Peter?
Well, from our experience is this, that the factories don't really care too much about if there is a little family business starting out, or a kind of multi-million-dollar representation, somebody is a purchasing agent for a huge company. Because our customer, for example, he has a small family business, and this is what suppliers are interested about. If it's for a shop or retail or a chain store, for example, this our customer is a little family business, but they are selling jewelry more than 1,000 different shops, supermarkets, and that is what suppliers here are interested about. That what is that for? Is it for your personal shop or 2 shops, or that is for a retail or a chain store, or what are you buying for? And if they see the possibility that yes, you have a power to order bigger quantities in the future, that is what they want to know.
Okay, so what's important to them is larger orders in the future. So in that case, wouldn't it be more important if the way I present myself is I represent a very large company, we're looking to do some big orders, we need to find a supplier we can trust. instead of over here, we're a new company, we're very small. I mean, it seems like that would make sense, but what do you think, Peter?
Yes, it sounds correct this way. The difference is that we had a small family business, a different one, and they were ordering small quantity, but for several thousand. And we had a big customer, I don't want to tell the name, in US, and he's a huge, they have chain store, everywhere representation, even in different countries. And when they were ordering that just a small quantity, just the purpose was just for a certain event or something. So big company, small orders, small company, bigger orders. So it depends.
Okay.
That is one point. And the second point is there are also, if you already develop a personal relationship with the supplier, they don't care too much about the business. They care about that, oh, we are friends.
Right.
You see, like going for a party thing. So
Okay.
if we call our supplier, they don't ask that big company, small company. We are friends, so they just try to do even on a friendly basis.
I got you.
To do what we need.
Guys, that's really good advice. Everyone here, listen to what Peter just said. Build friendship with the supplier. Build friendship with the manufacturer. Get to know them. Don't focus on, well, I got to use this strategy. What he's saying is focus on the relationship. That's valuable. One thing I want to mention, if remember earlier, guys, I mentioned this, if I came out with a new invention like this here, and I don't want a supplier to sell it to someone else on Amazon, Peter mentioned build a friendship. That's one way. Signing a contract, really hard to enforce, pretty much impossible. Friendship is more powerful, more bonding. Another way, which has been mentioned here as well, trademark your brand. That at least protects your store, allows you to get brand registered and then brand gated on Amazon. You guys should, everyone in this room should be going for a trademark at some point. You need to get a trademark. You can't get brand registered on Amazon anymore without it, and it has to be approved. Even if you got brand registered before they required it, you're gonna have to go back and resubmit it. You might even have enhanced brand content based on brand registered, but you're not brand gated and you won't until you get that trademark. So I'm telling you guys, it's worth getting your trademark. But there's another way you can protect, and that is a patent. In fact, I just had a meeting for an hour with a patent attorney, me and my business partner, and he was explaining the difference between a patent based on design and one based on function. And I'll do another video on that another day, but just think about that too. You're gonna spend a lot more money, but even during the patent pending phase, even if you didn't get the patent approved, guess what, guys? You'll scare a lot of people off. I don't want to sell a product that someone is patent pending, because what if it does get approved? Now all the work I did for 6 months goes to naught. I can't sell this anymore. I'll get in trouble. I don't want to end up in jail, because then I'll miss my family. And then someone have to bail me out, and that wouldn't be very cool. And I like the color gray instead of the color black and white stripes or orange. So you get the idea though. Patents can help you, but it's going to be more expensive. But that is another way you can do it. Trademarking, you can get it done in the US. You can also get it done in the EU, the European Union. You can get it done specifically in Canada. It's going to cost more, but it's going to protect you more. And as you guys should know, Amazon is going global like crazy. So the people who are moving global are going to make more money long run. Huge opportunity there as well. You know what's really fun about this conversation? I know a ton about Amazon. Peter and Angel know a ton about sourcing. I feel like between the three of us, we could give you guys like a serious course on how to succeed. This is awesome. Thank you so much, Peter and Angel, for just all of this. This is really, really, really helpful.
Sure.
I'm going to ask some more. Go ahead.
Just acknowledging.
Oh, okay, awesome. I'm going to just do 2 more questions. Is that okay with you? I know we're going just a little bit over time, Peter.
No problem. No problem.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. So next question of the 2 I'm going to ask. Let me pick a good one. I have a ton of questions here to ask. Let's see. When do you recommend shipping by plane versus shipping by sea?
Well, this depends on the volume, how big is the product or packaging, how heavy, and how fast. So with our customers, it is under 100 kg. I don't know, it is about 250 pounds about. So if it's less than that, and they need it fast, urgently, and so basically we just do that by air.
DHL,
DHL, UPS.
UPS.
So
If it's more like a 200, 300 kg, this is going to buy normal air shipping. That is more cheaper. But if it's faster, it's DHL, UPS. This kind is more fast.
yeah. So under 100 kg, and it is not a big one with a few boxes or something, it can go by the fast air shipment. If it's more like few hundred kg, like I think 1 kg is like 2.54 pounds or something like that. So it is like 200-300 kg, around 400-500 pounds. It can go by a regular air shipment, what is slower but is cheaper. And if someone is ordering like thousands of products, bigger volume, for sure the shipping by sea is the best.
Gotcha. So you got express, you have slower air, and you have ship by sea, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and guys, when you're first sourcing a product, a lot of times you could actually immediately out the gate get that express shipping, and usually it only takes 5 days, at least for us in the US, after if it's already been produced, okay, if it's already been created. So just keep that in mind. All right, this is really good. Let me ask you guys one more question. Thank you for going just a little bit longer. There are so many chats in this chat room. There's no way I could keep up with all of them. But guys, I hope this is really helping you out. And guys, if you could do me a favor, if this is valuable to you, give me a thumbs up. That would mean a lot. Give a thumbs up if this video is helping you out. If it's not, don't give it a thumbs up. In fact, if you hate this video, give it a thumbs down. I won't be offended. But if it really is helping you, give it a thumbs up. That would mean a lot to me. Okay, I'm going to ask you guys one more question. Let's see. How do you know if a supplier is actually the minute? Okay, what are the steps for new product development? Okay, what are the steps for a new product development? This is a massive question, I know, but I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts on this. What are the main steps you go through?
So basically how to private label, how to start the whole process, right? So we have the idea and we give that to the factory, or we first check the factory if they have similar products, similar samples we can get from them, and we check in what quality they are producing, and we can check with them if they can produce something like what we need. And first we check their original samples, what is similar, and we already can determine that they are producing good quality products. The quality is no problem. After we give them what we need, and they are producing, they're making samples. That is the first sample, we get it and we check. So we check the quality after about that. And this is a little bit go around and talk about the quality as well, how we are making sure that we are getting a good quality product. So basically we get the sample product, what we need. After that everything is okay, we send to the client it is needed, or take good pictures or record it on a video or whatever what is needed, what is faster. And after, we start a production. But first, we need to get a production sample. So the original sample and after production sample, so we know that when they're producing it, that would be the actual product quality.
Yes, because I know there's people in this room, Peter and Angel, who have purchased a sample. They look at it, oh, it's amazing. Then they order 1,000, not the same quality. And that's very discouraging. So this is awesome. So not only a sample for a sample to look at, but then a production sample, because that production sample is exactly what's going to be produced when they do it in massive quantity. And really quick for everyone here, especially if you're part of Just One Dime, what I'm about to say is super relevant to you. If you're part of Just One Dime, this is for you. You ready, guys? Here we go. What Peter's taking us through right now, the reason he knows it so well, it's exactly what Peter and Angel do, and they've been doing for years. So if you're wondering, can I get them to help me? This is only for Just One Dime people. They can. And they can do different levels of service all the way up to checking every single product before it leaves the ground of China and goes to Amazon's warehouse. That way you know for sure it's what you want. And you guys know me. I'm not going to work with someone I don't trust. If Peter and Angel didn't be trustworthy, like that would be devastating to me. And it'd be devastating to them. That'd be horrible for everyone. So that's why we're flying to China to meet them as well. So just keep that in mind. What he's sharing with you, they actually do this. So if you're part of Just One Dime and you want them to do this for you, there's an opportunity for that, and you can get it at different tiers. Okay, thank you, Peter. Back to you, brother.
Okay, so yes, everything is true. And just finishing, so you have an idea, and everyone has an idea about how we are checking the quality. So the original sample, the first production sample, we check. And what happened before that, someone was making jewelry rings, and we get a production sample, we pick up the ring, yes, it looks good, oh, it broke.
Okay.
So that was a production sample. So we sit down with the factory and said that, well, this ring is broken. Or so basically we point out all the problems and mistakes in a production sample and make them to change it. And the supplier is making the second tier of production samples. And we are doing that until the product is good, and now we have a go for a mass production. And the final, we get all the product is produced, we get it, and after it is needed, we check even that one by one, or we already know that they are producing good because we checked the mass production sample, and
Right.
we just pick up something. So basically how it's needed, but basically we just check to make sure that each product, after all those between quality checks, are still what we expect. And after
Gotcha.
we do the shipping and packaging and papers and all the other stuff.
Yeah. So let me go back.
So,
Go ahead, Angel.
also, like before that, when we're looking for the factory or supplier, there's one point. This is after one experience. No, if no more people is not they didn't notice, pay attention for this point. When we go, we see. Remember, I teach Greg and Mimi. You go into the shop when we check the new ones. So we don't know how they are good, how the quality they made, and how we want to give to them. We can trust them. First, I say, okay, we ask if all this sample is you bought the sample, you buy the nice, so that is nice because you buying.
Yeah.
But which one is from yourself, your production? So if they can show us from the production, the products. If we see this is the good, so means when they product, they have the production from our goods, or so they will be making good job. But if they have only the sample, it's good, and when they make, we don't know, we're afraid, so it can be happen. Nice sample, but when you have the production, it's no good.
Yes, this is the important thing.
Yeah.
That basically the supplier itself has samples, but not all the samples made by them.
Right.
And that is what we are checking, that is their sample from their production line. And that is how we can see that the supplier is good or not.
Got it. Give me 1 second. People are asking a lot about contacting you guys, joining Just One Dime. So really quick, everyone, if you want to join Just One Dime, that is the best offer, the best bundle we have ever offered. You can do that. Then you have access to Peter and Angel. Just so you know, and I want to make this clear, Peter and Angel's service is not free. I'm not asking them to volunteer what they do for a living, like, hey, here you go. What they're doing right now is free. What I'm doing right now is free. They're right now giving information that's taken them decades to learn. There's no way I could just read a book and learn all this. Like being able to talk to someone who lives in China and ask these questions, and especially the most urgent, frustrating ones, that is free. That's wonderful. But if you want their help, it is only for people who are in Just One Dime already or who joined Just One Dime. That's the arrangement we made, because we're going to help them with their business because we love what they do, and their prices are incredibly ridiculous. And by that I mean incredibly low and reasonable. So just so you guys know, if you want their help, you can do that, but only through Just One Dime, and you would have to join Just One Dime as well. I Am Atomic. I know you're a warrior, and I love the name I Am Atomic. You will have their information very soon. Yeah, we're building a whole page where you can see every tier. Okay, I'm going to summarize really quick so everyone knows, whether you're doing this with Peter and Angel or your supplier, here are all the things you need to know. And tell me, Peter and Angel, if I'm missing anything. All the main things you need to know. I don't know everything. You're going to get your samples. You need to either see pictures of them or feel and touch them, right? That's the first step. Okay, then you need a production sample. They actually produce it for you on the factory, because that sample might be blue, but the one you want is going to be green, and it's going to be 1 millimeter thicker, for example, because you're going to differentiate. So now you need a production sample. And that's something you want to see and touch and feel, or have someone like Peter and Angel do it for you. Instead of you paying for shipping to get it to you, why not just say, hey, send me a little video, I'll send it to me on the internet. I just saved a bunch of money. You guys know how expensive it is to ship samples. Like, I'll just say this, their service is so much less expensive than the sample. It's crazy. So think about that. Think about that, guys. Sorry, guys. I feel like I'm on adrenaline right now. I'm so excited about this. This is awesome. So they send you the production sample. You look at it, okay? That's the second step. And remember, this isn't a supply to Peter and Angel. Any supplier, think through these steps. Your next step, once that's approved, oh, let me go back. If you can get someone to inspect the factory to know it's a real factory versus they're pretending to be a factory, but they're buying it from someone else, that would really help. To actually know it's a factory. So you're working directly with the agent who knows the factory or the factory. The next step is you buy your minimum order quantity. What does that mean? The lowest number you can, but still get it at a huge discount. Unless you have a lot of faith in this product and you're gonna buy a ton, like 20,000. I'd recommend starting smaller. You're still in the testing stage. You're gonna buy that, and you can have people like Peter and Angel do a random check where like every 5 boxes they check, right, Peter? Or
Well,
a thorough
actually,
check. Go ahead.
the random check for us means that we open the boxes and we pick from the boxes. Like every box has, for example, 50 pieces. So we open the box and we check 3, 4. The other box also 3, 4. Other box, from each box we check.
Okay, got it. And you also do a thorough check where if you want, and obviously it's going to cost more, you will check every single item in every box, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. All right. And
so
then
one by one, we check, make sure that everything is good in this product, next product, next product.
Okay.
So
now here's the big question. Go ahead, Angel.
So this is more words when the customer they don't need to worry if it's anyone has a problem. So all it will be good from 100%. This is the words. Not the supplies when they receive. Okay, some of them is good, some of them is not good. It can be happen if it's not going one by one.
Yeah. So we really want to make sure that each item is perfect.
Got it. So I don't show up and even every 1 out of 50 is bad. You already checked it and you got rid of the bad one.
Yes.
Excellent. Okay. This is very good. The last thing that you guys do, and I know we haven't talked about it a lot, I think the hardest thing to learn when you're selling on Amazon or online, the #1 hardest thing to learn, and guys, tell me if you agree with me or not, is shipping internationally. I mean, it's crazy. One time I did a video, and I have 19, I think it was 19 boxes behind me to explain all the different stuff. Now, I knew about half of them, maybe a third of them before that. I had to meet with someone else who's a lot smarter than me, and we went and we took days to try to figure out everything. I called freight forwarding companies, help me understand. And a lot of them, they couldn't tell me what these things were. Like, oh, I don't know what that acronym. I'm like, wait, you're a freight forwarding company. Well, that's probably an old term. I'm thinking, finally, we got that list together. We provided the entire list to our team. It's a whole spreadsheet. So all the main shipping terms, you can understand them. Because if you know, then you can learn. But here's my question, Peter and Angel. How do you help with shipping? There's, especially if we're going by sea, there's customs, there's duties, there's imports, there's so many, like it's like a whole education learning all those acronyms. What do you do for that? How can you help people like us?
Well, if someone, they don't have an agency, like a shipping agency, example in US, if they don't have, but they have the big shipment. So in that way, we have our agency, we have the shipping company, I mean, because we call agency. So the forwarder we have, and we can ask them to check there, and they can send the door by door, like a door to door. We call door to door from our warehouse and to the customer warehouse. Example, I would like to send to sets, so from my warehouse, send to your office or warehouse. And this is all shipping or everything that include the price.
So basically, our shipping agency, they find out all the details and give us the best price, what they can give.
Yeah.
So it's going to show up on my doorstep?
What?
That goes to his door.
Yeah,
Yes.
like a door to door.
Okay, so I don't have to drive down to the port in Los Angeles, which is a really long drive from Austin, Texas.
No, no need. So they know they have the connect. They have here, example here, the shipping company. In US, they have also the company.
They are connected and working together.
Gotcha. Okay. And so I don't even have to drive to the airport and fill out some crazy document. That's all taken care of for me?
No.
Yeah, no.
That goes to you.
Okay. All right. I'm asking these questions a little bit rhetorically, I know, but I'm asking for the people listening because I know what they're thinking. I think I know what they're thinking because it's what I used to think. So one last question, guys, and thank you again so much. This has been awesome, and I wish you could see the chats. People here are really, really thankful for you guys taking time to help them out. I mean, I sit and I think, okay, here's a couple, and boom, free help. Let's go. How can I help you? I absolutely love that, and those are the kind of people I want to work with. Last question for you. So on the shipping, there are forms that have to be filled out. Do you guys normally go with places like FedEx, UPS, or do you use other freight forwarding companies that maybe aren't as well known?
Yeah.
Could be either.
Basically, yes, we are using like UPS, FedEx. We use these companies, and we don't go there. They come here.
Gotcha. Okay, so you
basically,
are using.
Yes, they bring all the papers. We fill out here,
Sorry,
right there, or in our warehouse, or in our office. We fill out everything and packaging everything, and they take from our door to their location.
Got it. But what I'm asking is, do you guys do that with FedEx and UPS or different other companies? Do you know what I'm saying? Like the most common that we hear about, at least here, UPS, FedEx, UPS. I'm sorry, UPS. I'm getting tired. Can you tell? DHL, UPS, and FedEx.
DHL, UPS, FedEx, yes.
FedEx from price, which is better, which is the best
we comparing the price for that certain shipment, and we will see that UPS would be better, or DHL would be better, or.
Example for the FedEx, we have account, but we never use because it's priced more expensive than the UPS or DHL. So I always use from the company. They have the special price, so they give us price, and we use from the UPS or DHL. This is most we use.
Okay, got it. Super helpful. Thank you so much. Guys, thank you so much for being here. I'll share this one last time. If you're part of Just One Dime, help not giving out their information to anyone. If you're in the program, I will give you access where you can get their help, whether it's as simple as just send me pictures of samples or the whole process from your idea to it landing on your doorstep. They can help you with that entire process. And when I go to China, I will be taking video, and you guys can see them over video if you guys are okay with that. And I'll be doing lots of blogging and vlogging so you guys can see what I'm seeing in China and the factories. And it's going to be very educational and fun for me. So I'm really looking forward to going on the 200-mile-an-hour trains.
Yes, maybe that time when you come, that will be 250 miles per hour because the new trains are putting into service now.
Well, just make sure they have that one ready for me, and I'll go on that one because I do like going fast.
Yeah, call the government agency.
Awesome. Hey, everyone, one last time for those of you who guys asked, if you want to be part of Just One Dime program, that is the only way to get a hold of them. They're not doing that service outside of this. So you're welcome. That is our best bundle we offer. It is 4.5 hours of live coaching every week, plus everything else. It would take me, literally, it takes about 10 minutes to explain everything it offers. It's ridiculous. But guys, I'm going in October, Mikaforia. Hey guys, thank you so much for your questions. Thank you for making this a really cool experience. Just One Dime people, not Just One Dime people, just being part of this. And I hope it's been awesome for you guys. I want to encourage you to get out there and go crush it and have a very awesome day. See you guys. Thank you so much, guys. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.